welcome, friends, family, comrades. We are here at Bournemouth Christchurch Pool Council at the Civic Centre. It is 22nd of July 2025. The motion and petition to untwin Bournemouth from Netanya is being heard in that council chamber. Already we have come here, it's a very, very high police presence. We've got a few Zionist genocide supporters, and unfortunately we were blocked entry into the gallery because of fire safety reasons. However, our comrade Fida, who is putting the petition across and will be speaking in that chamber today, has told us that there's about 5 people in the public gallery. The rest of the seats just have reserved stuck on them. Another lie by BCP Council. So far, what we know is, after putting across a quite watered down version of the motion through the Green Party to get the Lib Dems on side, to then actually get it across the line and do something about the untwinning, the Lib Dems have decided to put forward an amendment at the last minute. They didn't share it with us. It's very watered down and basically says the council has nothing to do with twinning. It doesn't want to promote it or go against it, and will do nothing about the signs. So that's where we are. Fida is about to present the petition inside, and we'll see what will happen. We didn't have much hope because we live in a Zionist-controlled country, as you can tell by your Prime Minister, Keir Starmer. Thank you very much. We'll let you know what happens.
I now invite the petition organiser, Feda Shaheen, to present the petition. I see you're already there. Thank you.
I'm here representing over 2,300 residents of BCP. I'm reading our petition. We, the undersigned residents of Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole, petition PCP Council to take all measurements within its power to cease support for the twinning relationship with Netanya, Israel, including but not limited to supporting any official or unofficial visits, exchanges, or cultural programs linked to the twinning, promote or endorsing any materials or signs related to twinning, and consequently remove all signs, plaques, and promotional material related to the twinning from council-controlled spaces, provide any financial or logistical support to Netanya or its representatives, disclose all council expenditure related to the twinning, and commit to full transparency moving forward. Taking this action will allow the council to demonstrate its commitment to upholding human rights, equality, and peace. Reasoning: Netanya is a city in Israel that supports and benefits from the ongoing occupation and oppression of Palestinian people. At a time when Israel is carrying out a genocide in Gaza, continuing this twinning seems to send the wrong message. Ending council support reflects our community's commitment to human rights, equality, and peace. And I would like to add that Netanya is a city in Israel that built on the destroyed Palestinian village of Khalid, whose inhabitants were ethnically cleansed on 20th of March 1948. The residents of Netanya, or Khalid, were slaughtered on the hands of the Haganah. Do you know why I know this? Because my uncle was one of those who had been slaughtered. He went to visit a friend that day and he was only 16. He was taken and slaughtered and died as all other men. So I can't see why we are twinning with an ethnically cleansed city. And what you don't know is the mayor of Netanya just a couple of months ago said, we're proud that no non-Israelis are living in Netanya. So he's proud of announcing Netanya as an apartheid space. Not only this, if this is not enough, Netanya is marked by a dark history, including the brutal execution of 2 British soldiers. Yes, our British soldiers, who were hanged by Jewish militants on 1947, left hanging from the trees in Netanya because they were trying to support and bring peace. David Lammy last night said that what is happening in Gaza and Palestine now is grotesque, and we need to urge Israel to stop this, not rewarding them by twinning with ethnically cleansed city. That's why I'm here now, and I'm urging you to stop supporting the genocide, to stand on the right side of the history. It's your responsibility. I'm speaking to you as a human.
Thank you, thank you. That was 3 minutes and over. Thank you very much. Councillor Joe Salmon.
Thank you for bringing the petition this evening. I thought you spoke very well, very passionately. Do you think there would be a genuine benefit to our town of Bournemouth suspending the current twinning relationship with Netanya in relation to the current events taking place in Gaza?
Our campaign is never about religion. It's never about anything but human rights and international law. And we are twinning with ethnically cleansed city. So what kind of message? When people say twinning is symbolic, it's about culture. It's about culture and common ethics. So what culture are we bringing? Is it the culture of genocide? Is it the culture of starving children? Is it the culture of stopping humanitarian aid from entering a country, starving the children, watching them dying? Is this what we're trying to establish here? So I don't think Netanya, as is bringing any benefit here. And if there's anybody with cost-benefit analysis that can show me how did Bournemouth benefit from twinning with Netanya? Actually, if anything, Netanya benefit from sucking on Bournemouth for a while. And what is the big deal for us, or what makes it not acceptable now, is we cannot be associated with killers. And this is what's happening in Netanya at the moment and in West Bank. And when people say, oh, it's Gaza, it's Hamas, there's no Hamas in West Bank. So why there is killing? Why a child last week, my brother-in-law is a lawyer. And you know what he specialized in? He specialized in defending children under 14. Children under 14. And he called me and he was crying. I said, what happened? He said they took one child because he wouldn't stop, because he's deaf and he wasn't wearing his hearing aid. And he said, we managed to get him out after 3 days, but unfortunately he was already raped. Is this the culture we bring into Bournemouth? The culture of rape? Rape.
Thank you. I think we were veering off the answer to the question there. Any more members have a question? Right, we're going to thank Ms. Shaheen. Councillor Kate Salmon, would you like to introduce your motion? And I understand that Councillor Joe Salmon is going to second it.
Thank you, Chair. And thank you to FEDA for speaking to us as well and for bringing the petition today. Who we twin with as a town does matter. Twinning is a public handshake that says, these are who we share our values with. Tonight's motion asks us to pause that handshake with Netanya until conditions change. More than 2,000 residents, Jewish, Muslim and otherwise, have petitioned us to act. If we leave that call unanswered, we risk creating a vacuum that extremists will exploit. All this motion asks is for the council to step back from that link. I understand that the link was not made by BCP Council, but we do have a role to play here. This month saw the 30th anniversary of the Srebrenica genocide, which we commemorate annually in this chamber. At that event, we pledged to stand with the persecuted and to speak out against genocide wherever it appears. Tonight, we have been asked by residents of BCP to keep that promise. Supporting this motion is a proportionate moral step that keeps Bournemouth, Christchurch and Poole on the side of human dignity, and I urge you to support the motion. Thank you.
You wish to second? Councillor Joe Salmon.
Yep, I'll second that and I'll reserve my right to reply at the end of the debate. So we can't just wish hard choices away. We can't just pretend difficult problems don't exist. That's not leadership. Leave the signs up, but don't replace them. Might as well go, does anybody fancy vandalising one more sign? It's a ridiculous, utterly ridiculous idea. Take no view on the twinning. That's not neutrality. That is silence. but his silence dressed as policy. So, all right, Netanya and Bournemouth, they've both got beautiful beaches, yeah? That is not an excuse for us to stick our heads in the sand on this. Twinning is a declaration of shared values. And when those values are in doubt, doing nothing is still a choice. We have the authority and a moral duty here to take some action. And this middle-of-the-road amendment that essentially says, isn't this too hard for us to deal with? What an abdication of leadership. I'll tell you what, speaking to people on both sides of a debate outside of this chamber, one thing they were absolutely clear on was that they feel there is a lack of leadership from this authority. And this amendment I am speaking to the amendment. Can we have all comments through the chair, please? This amendment gives up on us taking any leadership here, making a decision. I'm really glad the council was able to hold the event commemorating the Srebrenica genocide. I wasn't able to attend this year. I attended last year. I think the pledge many of us signed at that event was a moving one and a meaningful one. We pledged, those of us who were there, to always listen to and add our voices to those people who are experiencing a genocide. We need to make a decision on this this evening. We cannot keep kicking the can down the road. Let's vote this amendment down straight away and get on to brass tacks, debate whether or not this council is going to continue supporting the twinning relationship or not. We owe it to the people to show leadership and finish this debate for them.
The Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide, which the UK is a party to, I've got in front of me here, and clearly to any reasonable observer, a genocide is occurring. There are a number of limbs, but the most obvious to me seems to be Article 2C, deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction in whole or in part. Now, Article 3 says the following acts shall be punishable, and Part E is complicity in genocide. Supplying arms for use against in a genocidal situation or campaign would, in my view, be complicity. Article 1 says that the contracting parties confirm that genocide, whether committed in time of peace or in time of war, is a crime under international law which they undertake to prevent and to punish. So we are under an obligation as a country to try to prevent and to punish the act of genocide. We currently have a rogue state in the form of Israel, which is committing genocide. It is our obligation to take what action we can in order to put pressure on Israel to stop its genocidal campaign.
I have to express dismay at the amendment as put. 2,000 of our residents have expressed a desire for us to debate the substantive, and this very much moves away from the spirit of the original motion and petition that has been put.
And on another note, the Lib Dem put the amendment across. The Labour Party were whipped from the top down to vote against the untwinning because they are lobbied and fully captured by the Zionists.
So why am I abstaining, you might say? It's not cognitive dissonance, I can assure you. I believe, as I am sure the people that have put the motion forward, in principled politics. But I don't believe in placing local political positioning above international justice. And because I will not pretend that removing a road sign achieves justice for Palestinians when we are failing to hold our own governments to account across the West. Let's not confuse these kind of politics with real solidarity that's needed. I stand for a free Palestine, but I won't support symbolism.
Dressed up as action.
Thank you.
Since October the 7th, 60,000 Palestinians have been killed. The population of Bournemouth is 200,000 roughly. I cannot imagine what it would be like if a quarter of my friends and family in this town were killed in whether our hospitals were being bombed, our children were being starved. I cannot imagine what that would be like. And I'll tell you what, I would be so proud of myself if I could come here tonight under those circumstances and speak with the humanity and the dignity that Feda has this evening. I thought she was absolutely fantastic. I'm so disappointed that after she spoke, not a single person in this chamber had a question for her, wished to challenge her views and wished to offer support. Didn't have the spine to do that. None of you have the spine to question her, but none of you have the spine to stand with her either.
We've been to the full council demanding untwinning from the apartheid, asking the council to stop their support to the city of Netanya that is built on the ethnically cleansed Khalid. And these cowards, I don't know if they are born cowards or they get special training to be this coward. Lib Dems show their true color, and that's not a nice color because they had to ruin our motion. But I'm telling them it's not over. We will untwin and we will free Palestine, whether they like it or not, in our lifetime. Go to hell, Lib Dems, Labour, and everybody that supports Israel.
Yes! Want to be associated with a city whose current government is starving the population of Gaza. On the radio on the way here, I heard 36 people have died in the last 3 days from starvation. Forced starvation. Israel is starving Gaza. It is not allowing aid. They lie that they allow aid in. They are not allowing aid, and they have been starving Gaza since the 2nd of March. Shame! Why would Bournemouth and BCP Council want to have anything to do with a city of that country that starves people?